you ended up after your contract expired and everything, going to TNA. Was it Jeff Jarrett that brought you in there, or Vince Russo? Or?
Jeff, Vince, they were, and that 2003 in TNA was the best work I ever did. Those shows were some of the best TV that never got seen, because they were weekly pay. You had to pay for it every week, so not a lot of people watched it.
Yeah.
But if you look at that library of shows, for like from 2003 to 2000, mid 2004, those were great shows. We were running the same building every week, right? And there was times where we're like, wow, this is good. This is really good stuff. The houses, even though it's a local market, there's a lot of people. Like, the house is growing every week. We're packed every week now. There's people. There's a line outside. They're turning away people at the door, and just the shows were very strong. They were like, we had a lot of. It was one of those periods of time where you had a young AJ Styles, a young Chris Daniels, a young Chris Sabin, like all these young guys that are great, that were just now getting exposed to people. And like, wow, these guys are really, really good. You're watching them like, holy cow. The work was great. The interviews were fantastic. I mean, like, every guy in the car just nailed it on the mic. Like, each night, it was just good stuff, man. I really enjoyed. That was the funnest time I had. Is 2003 in TNA, because it was just like it was just good stuff, man. I mean, if you ever get a chance to watch it, be like, wow, these are like really good shows, So.
Who do you think owns that footage now? It's still TNA.
It's at the TNA. It's on this. You can get it on that app.
Okay.
All those shows are on that Global Wrestling app, whatever it's called, that Impact app or something. Like, all those archive shows are on there. And those are. I would just tell them, like New Jack used to come and do great interviews. So I mean, like Shane Douglas, Sandman.
Vince Russo say the same thing, that those were the best.
Oh, they were just. I mean, if you just watch, we were doing outside the box stuff. I was cutting good promos. Everybody was. I mean, it was just like, wow. It's like, wow. If you watch those shows, you're like, what happened to, like, because it wasn't scripted back then. Vince would write interviews, but he'd write them very basic and like elementary, and you put your words in and fit. You edit it in your voice any way you want. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, so you just got guys everybody was giving good direction, and they would go rolling with it. And the angles were good. Everything was hot. It was just good stuff, man. I'd put those. That was as good TV as you will see, because everything made sense. It was outside the box, but we made it make sense. And stuff was just good. Mike Tenay's announcing was fantastic. Like, he would sell the angles. It was just great stuff.
Did you deal at all with Jerry Jarrett at the beginning?
Briefly, I didn't. I wasn't a fan of his. I wasn't a fan of his. He like had ideas for angles that I just thought were way too old school. Just would not get over, and stuff. And like I'd be like, I just don't think he could. I mean, the guy's probably brilliant back in the day, but like it's like not 1981 anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's not, and plus he made a comment about me. Like he had wondered. Like there was a period of time where they were trying to sign me or something. I didn't want to work there because I didn't want enough and stuff. And his thing was like, why would? Because he did Memphis television. Yeah. So he would have guys come work on TV for $20. Yeah. That's what they do. They put you on TV, and that's like your exposure, right? Right. And he didn't understand that. Like, I don't understand why a guy would want to be on TV though. So, and I'm like Jerry, I just spent 7 years on TV. It's like, that's not about being on TV anymore. It's about your money. You know what I'm saying? So that's like where he hit his school of thought and my school of thought clashed. It's like I don't need to be on TV anymore. I was on TV for 7 years, every week. So so I don't need more TV exposure. I just want more money. Yeah. So that's.
What was the friction with him and Jeff over? Was that just Jerry getting out of the business?
I have no idea. I'll tell you what. Here's what I heard: is that all I know is Jeff. This is a very weird dynamic, right? And I don't know if it's true or not, but this was a story. I heard that for some reason, like, Jerry Jarrett never held Jeff's kids in his arms, right? But Jeff confided in him, and like they would go be off in the corner meeting all the time. So there were confidence. Like, I guess Jeff would always go to ask him, Jeff was a student of the game, which made Jeff so smart to the business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Jeff's as smart a cook as you will find in professional wrestling. You know what I'm saying? He's just smarter than everybody else. You know, and I think what happened is the friction came on when Jerry Jarrett had that Russian character guy, and he like went to and he went to New York with him and I think this is just because it's still sketchy in my memory, but I think that rubbed Jeff the wrong way. It's like, well, you know, it's kind of like you're backstabbing me here with this guy. Why are you taking him to New York? You know. And I'd heard that was a story that created a lot of friction with them. I never knew the story because he would never repeat his conversations that he had with his father. Never. I had no clue what they were talking about. That's the thing. People I have no clue what they're talking about. You know.
I can tell you why I took him to New York though, because I knew Oleg because he didn't like wrestling and he got a better than average training contract.
Right.
So
is that what it was? Right.
He probably wouldn't have been willing to wrestle for a small amount of money.
Did you hear the similar story?
I didn't hear the story, but I just knew Oleg that he didn't really like wrestling. He was only in it for the money reasons.
Right. So. That's a sketch. But I don't know if it's.
I could see how that would cause friction.
Yeah. It's just, so that's too. It's like, and I don't know. I just don't know because I never really knew. I just knew Jeff confided in him, but I never knew what they talked about. You know, he never shared those conversations or nothing. You know.